Yo, Vikings Nation, it's time to fire up the purple pride and dive into some serious NFL tea. There's a heated feud brewing between our very own Hall of Fame legend Cris Carter, former Bengals star Chad Johnson, and ex-All-Pro cornerback Asante Samuel. This drama kicked off when Johnson made a wild claim on a podcast, and it spiraled into a full-blown debate about legacy, skill, and who's really overrated. Ready for the details? Let's roll. This all started earlier this year when Chad Johnson, at 47 years old, boldly claimed he could take down Jaguars two-way star Travis Hunter in 10 straight one-on-one reps. Yeah, you heard that right, 47. Our guy Cris Carter, never one to hold back, called Johnson out on the Fully Loaded podcast, saying he's hyping up his career way more than the tape shows. Carter even threw in a jab, saying Johnson's got no shot at the Hall of Fame. Ouch! What do you think? Did Carter go too far, or is he just keeping it real? The plot thickened when Asante Samuel jumped into the fray on his own podcast, defending Johnson and taking some serious shots at Carter. Samuel called Carter one of the most overrated wide receivers in NFL history, despite Carter's jaw-dropping stats. 1,101 receptions, 13,899 yards, and 130 touchdowns. Numbers that put him 6th, 13th, and 4th all-time, respectively. Samuel's got some nerve, right? Vikings fans, are you feeling this disrespect to our Hall of Famer? Or does Samuel have a point? Let me know below. Let's talk about that Hall of Fame resume. Cris Carter, drafted by the Eagles in 1987 and a Viking from 1990 to 2001, redefined what it means to be a wide receiver. His 1995 season with Minnesota? A monstrous 122 catches for 1,371 yards and an NFL-leading 17 touchdowns. The man was a touchdown machine, earning 8 straight Pro Bowls and a spot in Canton in 2013. So, when Samuel calls him a possession receiver who gets tackled right after the catch, it feels like a low blow. Vikings Nation, are we letting this slide? Samuel's argument hinges on Carter's style. He says, as a cornerback, what do I have to worry about covering a guy like Cris Carter? He's gonna run a nice, crispy route and get tackled immediately. Okay, Asante, we get it, you're not scared of Carter outrunning you. But let's be real. Carter's hands were glue, and his routes were surgical. He didn't need to burn past corners to dominate. Does Samuel's take hold water? Or is he just hating on a Vikings legend? The fan reaction on X has been wild. Posts are flying, with some calling Samuel's comments retarded, and others pointing out Carter's 130 TDs dwarf Johnson's 67. One fan even said Carter would have torched Samuel for 3 touchdowns in a game. The debate's heating up. Is Carter's legacy untouchable, or is there room to question his greatness? Drop your take in the comments. Let's keep this fire going. Now, let's zoom in on Chad Johnson's role in this mess. Known for his trash-talking flair and Akasinko antics, Johnson's no stranger to making headlines. His career stats, 773 receptions, 11,059 yards, and 67 touchdowns, are solid but don't touch Carter's. Still, Johnson's confidence is unmatched, and his claim about beating Travis Hunter, a 2025 NFL Draft number 2 pick and Heisman winner, got Carter's blood boiling. Was Johnson's bold statement just a publicity stunt? Or does he really believe he's still got it? Carter's response on June 9th's Fully Loaded podcast didn't pull punches. He said, "There's nothing that pisses me off more than old guys who used to be able to do something and swear it was better than how they did it." That's a direct shot at Johnson's ego. Vikings fans, do you think Carter's protecting the game's integrity or just flexing his Hall of Fame status? And what's Johnson's next move? Will he clap back or let this slide? Social media's buzzing with fans comparing the two. One X post laid it out. Carter's 1,101 catches and 130 TDs versus Johnson's 773 and 67. It's not even close. Yet, some argue Johnson's explosiveness made him a bigger threat than Carter's steady production. Who's got the edge in this debate? Hit the comments and let's settle this, Vikings Nation. Asante Samuel's comments are where this feud gets juicy. The former Patriots corner, with 51 career interceptions and 4 Pro Bowls, isn't some nobody. But calling Carter overrated when Carter's in the Hall of Fame and Samuel isn't? That's bold. Samuel praised Carter's route running and hands but insisted he was no threat to stretch defenses. Vikings fans, does this sound like a cornerback trying to rewrite history? Or is there truth to his critique? Samuel's exact words: Cris Carter is one of the most overrated wide receivers to ever come in the NFL, or into the Hall of Fame. That's a mic drop moment, but it's got fans fired up. One ex-post called it a wild take, while another reminded everyone of Samuel's dropped interception in Super Bowl 42 that cost the Patriots a perfect season. Is Samuel's credibility taking a hit here, or is he sparking a legit conversation about Carter's legacy? The Vikings connection makes this personal. Carter carried our offense through the 90s, teaming up with Randy Moss in '98 to help us hit a record-breaking 556 points. Samuel's shade feels like a jab at our purple pride. So, Vikings Nation, are we riding with Carter or giving Samuel's take a second thought? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's break down why this feud matters to us. Cris Carter isn't just a player. He's a Vikings icon. His 8 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro nods, and that 2013 Hall of Fame induction cement his place in NFL history. When someone like Samuel questions that, it's not just about Carter, it's about our team's legacy. Are we letting this slide, or are we ready to defend our guy? The stats don't lie. Carter retired in 2002 as the NFL's second all-time leader in receptions and touchdowns, only behind Jerry Rice. Even today, he's still 4th in touchdown catches and 6th in receptions. Johnson's numbers, while respectable, don't come close, and Samuel's never faced Carter on the field. So why's Samuel coming for our legend? Is this personal or just podcast drama to grab clicks? Fans on X are split. Some are clowning Samuel, with one saying, Asante cost the Patriots a perfect season and he's Andy about everyone else. Others argue Johnson's flash made him a tougher cover than Carter. Vikings Nation, where do you stand? Is Carter's legacy untouchable, or is there room for debate? Drop it below. This feud's got the NFL world buzzing. But let's zoom out. The Vikings have always been about resilience. Guys like Carter carried us through tough seasons with clutch catches and leadership. Samuel's comments feel like a challenge to that legacy. But here's the thing. Carter's numbers and impact speak for themselves. So why's this debate even happening? One theory floating on X is that Samuel's defending his boy Johnson, who retweeted the clip with a grin emoji, fanning the flames. Could this be a coordinated jab to stay relevant? Or is Samuel genuinely unimpressed by Carter's game? Either way, the Vikings faithful aren't having it. One fan wrote, Carter woulda had a 3 TD day on Samuel's goofy ass. Do you agree? Or is Samuel onto something? This drama's a reminder of how passionate our fan base is. Whether it's Carter's iconic catches or Moss's deep bombs, we live for these moments. So what's the real story here? Jealousy, truth, or just hot air? Let's keep the conversation going. Vikings Nation, hit the comments with your take. Let's pivot to the bigger picture. What does this say about NFL legacies? Carter's career was built on consistency year after year. He was Mr. Reliable for the Vikings. Johnson brought the flash, but his stats don't stack up. Samuel, a shutdown corner in his day, seems to value big play threats over steady production. Is that fair? Or is he missing the point of Carter's greatness? The Vikings' history is full of legends like Carter who didn't need to outrun everyone to dominate. His 1997 season, with 89 catches and 13 touchdowns, showed he could dazzle with precision. Samuel's take that Carter didn't scare defenses feels off when you look at those numbers. Vikings fans, do you think Carter's style gets underrated in today's highlight reel era? The debate's sparking conversations everywhere. X-posts are calling out Samuel's Super Bowl drop while praising Carter's clutch plays. One fan said, Carter's 130 TDs versus Johnson's 68. Gimme a break. So what's the verdict? Is Carter's legacy being unfairly questioned? Or is this just healthy NFL banter? Let me know below. Now let's talk about the fans' reaction. Vikings Nation is showing up strong, defending Carter like he's still suiting up at US Bank Stadium. X-posts are brutal. One fan said, Asante's name never comes up for best corners, but he's calling out a Hall of Famer? Another pointed out Carter's 12 reception games, a feat only matched by a few in NFL history. Are we letting Samuel's shade slide? Or are we fighting back? This feud's also got neutrals weighing in. Some argue Johnson's athleticism made him a bigger threat, with one ex-post saying, "I'd take Chad over CC as WR1 any day." But the numbers favor Carter, and his gold jacket seals the deal. Vikings fans, are we letting these hot takes tarnish our legends' shine? Or are we standing firm? The passion in this debate shows why we love this game. It's not just about stats. It's about pride, legacy, and our team. So what's your take, Vikings Nation? Is Carter getting disrespected? Or is this just retired players talking smack? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's wrap this up with some context. This feud isn't just about Carter, Johnson, and Samuel. It's about how we measure greatness. Carter's Vikings tenure was a masterclass in consistency, with 11 straight seasons of at least 5 touchdowns. Johnson had flash but never matched that longevity. Samuel's critique might come from a corner's perspective, but does it hold up against Carter's body of work? The Vikings are no strangers to drama. From Randy Moss's antics to our playoff heartbreaks, this beef feels like another chapter in our storied history. Carter's legacy is tied to our purple pride, and Samuel's comments sting because of it. So, Vikings Nation, are we letting this slide? Or are we ready to defend our Hall of Famer to the end? One thing's clear. This debate's got everyone talking. Ex-posts are lighting up, with fans saying things like, "Samuel lost a Super Bowl. Keep his mouth shut." Others are hyping Johnson's swagger. What's the final word, Vikings fans? Is Carter overrated? Or is he still the king? Let's hear it in the comments. Alright, Vikings Nation. That's the scoop on this wild NFL feud. From Johnson's bold claim to Samuel's shade and Carter's untouchable legacy. This drama's got us fired up. Let's keep the purple pride strong. Hit that like button, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings news updates. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's show the world why we're the loudest fan base in the NFL. Skol Vikings!